Hi boys and girls, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. So you completed your first successful day of Caterpillar Camp and we're on day 2, only 15 more days of Caterpillar Camp to go. So if you remember yesterday we played circles and stars and then we wrote equations for those circles and stars that we wrote. So we're just going to review that very quickly. So I'm going to turn it back over to my whiteboard here so I can demonstrate what we're doing. So a review from yesterday, circles and stars. I'm going to take, and hopefully you guys were able to get on HMH on the digital site and got to play with some of those digital resources, those virtual tools. Okay, if not, you need to be asking your teachers on Teams on how you need to get access to that. Okay, so we're gonna roll our number cube or our dice. The first time I rolled a 4. That tells me how many number of groups I have. And then I'm gonna roll my dice or number cube again. And that time I got a 5. So I'm gonna put 5 stars in each group. Each group has to be equal. Remember yesterday we talked about our vocabulary that equal means the same amount. So I need to put 5, the same amount of stars in each circle. Okay, and then yesterday we also talked about writing equations, 2 equations for our circles and stars. So remember, we could do repeated addition to represent this. So this would be how many stars in each group, which would be 5 plus 5. And remember, I said you could check them off as you go. Plus 5 plus 5. And then I can skip count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. Or I could write that as a multiplication equation. So I'm going to write 4 groups of 5 stars, or 4 times 5 equals 20. Okay? That's what we worked on yesterday. Okay, so today we're going to complete lesson 3. We're only doing 1 lesson today. And we're going to look at writing different multiplication equations for the same total of stars. All right, let me show you what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to put my board into a 4 square for this. Okay, just splitting it up. All right, so if I had rolled 3, that's my number of circles, and then let's say I rolled a 2, I'm going to put 2 stars in each circle so my groups are equal, and now I'm just writing multiplication now. Okay, so this would be 3 groups of 2 stars equals a total of 6 stars. All right, so what I'm looking for is what other types of circles and stars would get me to a total of 6 stars altogether. Okay, so does anybody have any ideas on a different way I could make a total of 6 stars? Different number of groups with a different amount in each group. Anybody have any ideas? Marcus, I think you have an idea out there. Okay, yeah, I could do only 2 circles. How many would need to be in each one, Marcus? Yeah, 3 stars in each. So now this equation would look a little bit different because I have 2 circles with 3 stars in each circle, but I still get a total of 6 stars. All right. Are there any other ways we could do it? What you thinking? Anybody out there have any idea? Xavion, you have an idea? Okay. Xavion said we could do 6 groups with 1 star in each group. Mr. Pease is mowing the grass, so it's a little noisy. All right, 6 groups with 1 star in each group. All right, what would that equation look like? So now I have 6 groups of 1 star, and I still get that same total of 6. Good. All right, can we think of one more way? Bryson? Yes. Okay, 1 group with all 6 stars in it. 1 group with all 6 stars. Okay, so that would be 1 group of 6, and that would still equal a total of 6 stars. So you can see I can write 4 different equations, multiplication equations, to get to the total of 6. So that's what we're going to be working on today. All right, so remember, you need to have your materials handy each and every single day. So what I want you to do now is I want you to get your workspace book, and we're going to add something to the workspace book. So I want you to open up to the front cover, the inside cover. All right, and you're going to be keeping a chart here, a multiplication chart. All right, and I'm going to show you on the whiteboard how I want you to set it up. I can actually start it in here, so you can see exactly what I want it to look like. So at the top, here, let me write it up here, and as you copy it down, I'll put it in the book so you can see exactly how you want your book to look. All right, so at the very top of your page, I want you to write multiplication equations. All right, then down the left-hand side of your page, I'm going to want you to number the whole way from top to bottom, 1 to 18. Try to be neat and give a little space between each one. Let me back my computer up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, you're going to do that all the way down to 18. And then about the middle of the page, you're going to start writing 19 all the way down to 36. All right? All the way down to 36. So this is going to go 1 to 18, and this will go 19 to 36. Go ahead and write that now in your workspace books, and I'm going to do it in my workspace book so you can see exactly what it will look like. Neatness counts, because we're going to be using this chart throughout the last 15 days here. And we're just going to keep adding to it. Okay, number your columns. How you doing? All right, so I did my one side of the page. Now again, like I said, I'm gonna go about in the middle to do the next part. 19 through 36. Okay, this takes a little bit of time. That's okay, because like I said, we're going to be using this every day. Just going to be adding to our chart. Okay, so that's kind of what mine looks like. All right, so going back to our last problem that we just did, while you keep writing, I'm just going to recreate the problem that we had just done with the totals for 6. Really quickly. We had 3 times 2 here. Here we had 6 circles. And then the last one we had 1 circle with 6 stars. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to go to that front cover of your book. I want you to circle the number 6 on the left-hand column there. And now we're going to record these equations next to number 6. Let me show you how I want you to do it, though. I want you to say 6 equals 2 times 3. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of that one. Underneath that, I'm going to want you to write 6 is equal to 6 times 1. And then I'm going to erase that. Okay, you should be writing this with me. I'm going to put a comma because I'm going to write a new equation. 6 also equals 3 times 2. I did that one, so I'm going to erase that. And then finally, 6, I'm going to put a comma. 6 also equals 1 times 6. All right. Okay, you should have all of that down on your little chart in the front cover of your book for the number 6. All right. We are going to do another problem, but we're going to solve for the number 4 now. We're going to find all the equations for the number 4. So again, I'm going to do that 4 square kind of box. Try to zoom in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so for the number 4, remember I'm going to get a total of 4. So I'm just going to start out with 1 circle with 4 stars in it. So that would be 1 group of 4 stars equals 4. Remember, I want to get to that magic 4. That magic number 4. All right, so is there any other way I could make 4? Well, sure, I could do 4 groups with 1 star in each group. And that equation would look a little bit different because it would be 4 circles, 4 groups of 1 star equals 4 still. Just a different representation. I can do it one more way. I can do 2 groups that have 2 stars in each group. And that would be 2 groups of 2 stars equals 4. Those are the different arrangements we have for the number 4. So again, going back to the cover of your workspace book, I now want you to go to find number 4 and circle it. And we're going to record all the equations that have a total of 4. 4 equals 1 times 4. Got that one. I'm going to put a comma. 4 also equals 4 times 1. And then my final one is 4 equals 2 times 2. So there's only 3 different multiplication equations for 4. So notice that I put the total in front. That's a little weird, right? It really doesn't matter. Okay, because remember the equal sign means that this is the same amount as this. And 1 times 4 is the same amount as 4. So it doesn't matter which comes on which side of the equal sign. I can have the solution on one side. I could have 4 equals 4. There doesn't have to be a problem on one side of the equal sign. Okay, so remember that equal sign doesn't mean to solve something. It means this side is the same amount as this side. All right? Important thing to understand there about the equal sign. All right, so you're going to complete some more of these multiplication equations. Come back to you here. And you're going to complete them in your chart. In the next little segment, I'm going to show you on the digital tools how to turn to page 7 in your workspace books. And you can see they've got these little pre-done cards for you of circles and stars. Oops, I'm giving you all the answers. So the first one, it says write a multiplication for the directions. Write a multiplication equation for each card. So you can see they did the first one for you. There were 6 circles with 5 stars in each circle, which equals 30. So you would go back to your equations, find 30, and write 6 times 5. No, 30 equals 6 times 5. All right, so let me do the next one with you. Going back to page 7. So number 1, how many circles do I have? Yep, there's 6 circles. So that's going to be 6. And then how many stars do I have? 2 in each circle. So that would be 6 times 2. And how many does 6 times 2 equal? What's the total of that? 12. So once you get that, you're going to go back to your equation page. You're going to find 12 because that's what 6 times 2 equals. And you're going to say 12 equals 6 times 2. So as you're completing these circle and dot cards on this page, then you're going to record them in the front cover of your book. So I want you tonight or today to finish page 7 and record in your multiplication equation chart. I'm also going to show you a segment on how to get the multiplication circle and star cards. So watch that in the next segment. All right? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.